All right. So what's our opening?
What is our opening?
What about this week? Okay. So let's just start off being really demotivating.
Yes, love this.
I had an exhausting week, and I have no rhyme or reason for it. Like nothing big or bad happened. I've just been so exhausted. And then I'm like, my astrologist hasn't been posting anything, so I have no idea what's going on with the fucking planets, and I'm really counting on her to put an update up soon so I can understand why I've been so tired.
You've had a big year. It's March.
Right.
You have been to Australia. You've been launching products, businesses.
Yes.
You have
I turned 40.
entered a new decade, had, been celebrating. Like, this has been a lot.
We went to LA. Palm Springs. It's only March. It's been a ton of travel.
Yes.
A lot of, I don't know. It's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows.
Yes.
It's only March.
I know. But you're allowed. You got a puppy. Like, you're allowed.
Maybe this week I'm just really going like, oh, that's been a lot.
Your body's catching up with you.
And that's weird because so much of it has been so great.
Yeah. That's okay, though. I feel like there's like a coming down off of highs, right?
Okay.
And good things coming.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Although I didn't like your leg pain yesterday.
My legs are aching. I was lying on the couch yelling at Alisha, my legs are aching. My astrologist isn't posting. What's going on?
This is worrisome. Okay, so what are you going to do this weekend to look after yourself?
Yeah, that's a good call. I am going to and I actually have really no plans or commitments this weekend.
Good.
So I'm just going to go the sun is out in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for a nice long walk with the new puppy, show him my walk.
Yes.
I'll probably go to the gym.
Yes.
I will lay on the couch. I'll watch 90 Day Fiancé.
Yes.
I'm going to eat mini eggs.
Big Love. Are you done Big Love?
I'm not done.
Okay.
No, but I kind of go, I go move around to things and then come back to it. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Amazing.
How's your week been?
That's a good question. I started my week in urgent care for 7 hours.
My goodness.
I just had another sick kid. Like, honestly, I need... my dad said my house needs an exorcism.
I believe him. Yeah. That when you shared that with me, that really landed. I was like, it's not a bad idea.
So it feels like, I felt similar, just low energy.
Right.
Like, I do feel like I need some downtime too. We need to rest. We talk about it all the time, how important rest is.
Yes.
Again, we are not perfect.
Yeah.
we are humans.
Remember that pitch I did this week, and I was so excited about this company. I presented her and she was like, oh, everything sounds so great. Yeah. I just don't have a need right now. And I was like, what? Can you just
throw us a bone?
Just hire us. We really want to work with you. I didn't say that out loud. I said that in my head.
I know.
But she was just like, yeah, everything sounds great. This is the best pitch I've had this week. And we just don't need you. And I was like, what? She's just so honest about it.
I know. It's kind of like refreshing and brutal at the same time.
Was.
Yeah.
And so then I had to just lay on the floor, which is what you do.
I was going to say.
When you're exhausted, you just lie on the floor of your office. So I just did that. And I was like, please, God, just make this week and wrap it up.
At least you didn't say, wrap up this life. That is something you would say.
I did not say that. No. I just said this week.
There's something really nice about lying on the floor, though.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to build that into our wellness tools.
Should be
it's like grounding.
It should be a content pillar. Like all the times we're just like lying on the floor being like, what the fuck was that? What just happened?
Exactly. After a tough call.
Yes.
I did some floor lying yesterday too, actually. I went into Rich's office, my husband's office, and laid on the floor. And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like,
visual, like you lie down on the floor. And this was inspired by...
Mindy Kaling from the Mindy Project.
Yeah. So if you've seen that, every now and then when she gets overwhelmed, she just lies on her office floor.
Yes.
It's a real statement. I really like it. It's
I
just
love
like
it too.
I'm giving up for the minute.
Yeah. It's almost like getting in the fetal position or something.
Yeah.
I don't do that, but I just like lay flat on the floor and just stare at the ceiling.
I think we need to get that up on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done. Okay, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so today we're going to be a really nice and short and snappy episode. We're going to share with you 3 major breakthroughs we've had recently, both personally and professionally, that have up-leveled our game. Okay?
Yes, I'm excited to talk about this.
Okay, let's jump in. So number 1 is the concept of what is enough. And so I think we might have touched on this last year in the podcast as well, but I really need to underline this and share because I recently read the book The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I hope I pronounced that right. And one of the key points that really impacted me is he talks about this idea of what is enough. And so I'll do a quick story. So he outlines this little story in the book where he and one of his writer friends go to this really like exclusive high-end party, like in the Hollywood Hills or something.
Sounds fun.
The guy has a chopper. He has this huge mansion. He's got waiters and everything is just like over the top incredible. And he turns to his friends and he goes, look at this. Isn't this incredible? And his friend goes, yeah, but I have something that he'll never have. I have enough.
Oh,
and it really just like.
That gives me chills.
Yeah, I really loved that because I thought, wow, and this other guy is a writer. He lives humbly, lives simply, but he believes he has enough.
Yes.
And some people just they don't believe they have enough. So you're constantly buying and grasping and searching. But so it just had me really reflect on where in my life, because of course it's important to have ambition and goals, but where do I have enough? And in every area of my life, I was like, this is enough. I have a healthy family and children. That's enough. I have a beautiful home that I live in. It's enough. I have great relationships in my life. It's enough. And so, it was really powerful to just be like, oh, I'm already there. I already have enough. So anything else is just gravy.
Yes.
Oh,
that is huge. That is huge. And it's really quieting kind of that outside noise, those influences and those like narratives that we're fed again, right? That we are supposed to be wanting more.
You need this water bottle. You need this, like you need this makeup.
This car.
You need this car.
To live in this neighborhood. And it's like, it will never be enough, right?
Yes.
I just saw along a similar vein an interview with the founder of Uggs, the shoes. Did you see that?
No.
And he is, he's probably in his 70s, and him and his wife are multi, like worth hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And he said when his business started making money and it really started to roll in, that he bought a minivan and he paid off his mortgage and they have lived a simple, happy life. Oh, and he's so like that, because I think the interviewer was asking him like, what's the key to happiness or success? And he was just like, that this is enough. He's like, I know so many millionaires that have so much more than me and are so much more miserable.
Yes, you hear that all the time, that they're unhappy or that they're not fulfilled or satisfied. They're always chasing something or they're always scared they're going to lose everything.
Yes.
So I think just if you want to ask yourself the question today, like, where in my life do I have enough? And what is enough? Like, can I just pay my bills with ease? And is that enough?
Yes. It also kind of leads me to this exercise that you and I have talked about before. I read it actually in a Tony Robbins book.
Yeah.
Where he gets you to write down, like in a budget form, what wealth means to you in kind of different stages. Like, what does having enough look like? What does being wealthy look like? What does being ultra rich look like? And if you just ask somebody off the cuff, like if you could have any amount of money to like fulfill your needs in your life, and people will be like, I need $100 million.
Yeah.
But when you actually write it down, like I can afford my mortgage every month. I go to Hawaii twice a year. I whatever, buy a
Yes.
certain car. Like, even if those are things that you want, actually writing it down and seeing what those things cost comparatively to this idea in your head of how much
Yeah.
wealth you need to have is such an interesting exercise to do. So that is a completely separate book to what we were talking about. We were referencing The Psychology of Money. If anyone's interested in reading it, it's such a good read.
Our whole team has read it now,
Yes.
and it was so good for us, especially at the timing where we were coming off a banner year.
Yes.
And not having the same type of year, but still being profitable and really having to be like, oh, wait, we came in this month lower than last year at this month. But we're also like, wait, it's enough.
Yes.
We're profitable. The economy is down. We're still in business. Like this, it's okay. We can pay everybody.
Yes.
Right? It's enough.
That is enough. That is goals. Keeping payroll going. Okay. Point number 2. Oh, this is a hard one, and something that I am still getting comfortable with.
Yes.
That not everyone will like us, and that is okay. So when I think about this, the first thing that comes up for me is social media, because I have such an aversion to being on social media, to like speaking to the camera, and like I feel like such an idiot and thinking, I'm just thinking about what other people are going to be thinking about me, essentially. Is at times all I can think about, but I've really had to let go of that. It is an important aspect of our business. It's how we run our business. It is our full marketing strategy, how we show up. And we do it with intention. We're not showing up there just to hear ourselves.
Yeah.
Definitely not just to see ourselves. Like, it's actually my nightmare.
Yes.
So it's been a real mindset shift. And with that is a certain comfort level that it is not going to be for everybody. It might trigger some people.
Right.
They might have comments to make about us. And what I know to be true is that's not actually about me.
Right.
Right. And just the ability to get in a good headspace around it.
Yeah. It's so big. I'm reading this book right now. It's called Creativity, the Art of Being by Rick Rubin.
Yes.
I'm going to get for you.
Yeah.
And one thing he talks about is like, if you're creating art, and like a lot of our content is our art, it's our writing, it's our expression, right? So in a way it's art. And if you're creating art that everybody likes, like A, that's not possible. And B, you're not pushing the boundaries hard enough. Like, anything you create, it should actually divide an audience, right? It's like, we always talk about this, like not being afraid to attract our people, really pull them in, and then just repel the rest, right? Like living in that dichotomy. Is that the word? Okay. Dichotomy. And that's not easy to do, right? Because we are, like, our brains are wired for comparison. They're wired for survival. We want, like, that need to be liked is like from our primordial brain. It's like herd mentality. If you weren't in the herd, you would die.
Yeah.
But that's not a reality of today's life, right? Like, we still have that, like, biological, like, longing to connect and belong, but we can connect and belong with our people. And I always think about this quote that I saw once that said, like, not everyone's going to like you. That's okay. You don't like everyone.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't like everyone.
Yes.
And so why should I expect everyone to like me, But I feel like a big, like, unlock is, like, if you're living in integrity to, like, yourself, your values, what you believe to be true, you are not causing harm to anybody. You're not being antagonistic or trying to, like, provoke people, then, you can feel good and clear and free to just, like, keep doing your work and your messaging, and not everyone's going to like it, and that's okay.
And how freeing to show up as your full self and not thinking about all these different narratives that people are going to have about you. It's exhausting and confining, right?
Yeah. We actually did a quote on chapter 2 a couple of weeks ago saying, your judgments of others contain truths about you.
Yes.
Right? And so even when we find ourselves judging others, there's something for us to look at of like, why is this person triggering me?
Yes.
And it's usually just pointing to like an unhealed part of ourselves.
Yes.
Or they're doing something that we wish we could do, or we wish we had that ease of being, or we wish we had that, conviction around our beliefs, right? And we're not there yet. And so I actually had this experience with somebody I used to be jealous of. They were kind of in our like wider circle, but they were doing so much better than everybody. And I would feel jealousy every time I saw this girl. And then one day, like after like learning all of this, I switched it to thinking like, every time she did something that I was jealous of, I would switch my thinking to say, thank you for showing me what's possible. Like that's what I would say in my head.
Yeah.
And I just send her like, oh, thank you for showing me what's possible. Because the only reason I'm jealous is because I know I can do that too. And I'm not doing it yet.
Yes.
I know that's possible for me too. And I haven't achieved it yet. So we have a choice. We can get jealous, or we could be like, oh, thank you for lighting the way. Thank you for inspiring me.
Yeah.
And so then once you make that shift, then all of these doors started opening for me around those same areas, right? So I try to like catch myself if I ever feel that type of...
That's so good.
Right?
Yeah, that is everything. It really is. Yeah. It really is.
Okay, so number 3.
I'm just reading this for the first time.
Yeah. Number 3 is breaking up with clients and holding the line. So we had a really big breakthrough where, we had a year of only working with retained clients. So when we first opened, 7 or 8 years ago, we wanted to work with everybody. And we often took work on the contingent model, which means in the recruitment world, we get paid once we close the search, which could be a 4 to 6 week period, but retained executive search firms will ask for a payment up front and then a payment at the end. So we switched to a retained model because of the quality of service we were providing and the fact that we were absolute professionals.
Yes.
And we'd been doing this craft for 15 to 20 years. And, like we were like, here's how we need to position ourselves. And so there were a couple of occasions where there was a really cool brand that we really wanted to work with, and they would be like, well, we don't want to do retained, we want to do contingent, will you do it? And we wanted to get them on our client list. We wanted to do the work, and look, so we said yes, and it never worked out.
Never
there was
worked out.
An occasion where this worked out because the energy was skewed as well, right? And so we couldn't do our best work when we're working for free. And we were also just realizing like, we're just not available to work for free at this point in our lives and careers. And it's actually complete bullshit that this is a request of you for us, so we really just drew a line in the sand and said we're a retained search firm. And so since then we've said no to everything else that came. And one of the first things we noticed was all of our people started showing up. We would start doing pitches, and when we'd say we're a retained search firm, they'd be like, okay. And so we got really busy with our people. But I think we had to like draw that line in the sand energetically with ourselves of like who we are, who we're not. Here's what we stand for. Here's what we don't. And once we got really clear on that and our clients got clear on that, we just pulled in the work.
Exactly. And became more confident in who we are and what matters to us. And I think it's really challenging when you're a small business and you're starting out to make that call. It is scary to say no to clients and big names and big companies that we want to work with, right?
And I remember us seeing some male counterparts in, our same industry being retained and like not giving two F's about it. But I'm like, so that was even more fuel for us. Like we're women and people are asking us to work for free. Come on. They're not asking our male counterparts to work for free.
It's so
like,
true.
That's just, we can't do that.
No.
Like,
Yes. What a huge shift for us.
Yeah. And so we haven't looked back, and there have been times where there have been brands that we like totally admire and want to work with, but we had to like kind of stick to our values.
Yes. 100%. That's such a good one to talk about. Okay.
Let's wrap it up.
Do we want to do key takeaways?
Yes.
Cat.
You go for it.
Okay, we're going to talk key takeaways here. So, quick recap. So, the first thing we talked about is the concept of what is enough. What does that mean to you? And you may be surprised to find you already have it.
Yes.
You have enough.
Yes.
The second point was do not be afraid to attract the people meant to work. Wait. Don't be afraid to attract the people meant to work and journey with you and repel the rest. Okay, this was the not liking us. So number 2 is not everyone will like you, and that is okay. You're going to attract and repel certain people along the journey, and that is what's meant to be. And number 3, decide what you are available for and for how many people. No. Sorry.
You're done.
These are really wordy and weird to read. Okay. What was number 3? I'm just thinking how I want to reword this. Decide what you are available for and how people will treat you, and do not accept anything less. Okay, what's like a shorter way of saying that?
Like drawing the line of sand in the sand around who you are, who you aren't, what you offer, what you don't, and just communicate it. Like,
okay, you do that one.
Okay, doing it now?
Yeah.
And number 3 is draw a line in the sand, create boundaries of who you are not, what you're available for, what you're not available for, communicate it, and don't accept anything less.
Do not.
No, sir. And that's a wrap. I hope this was helpful. Let us know what resonated for you, because we can always blow out some of these into a full episode if you're finding value from them. Until next time.
Toodles.
Thanks for tuning in. Toodles.
Doing my power stance.
Good girl.
Okay, yeah, I'm done.
That was great. Did we do 4?
We did 4.
Thank you, Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Amen.